All right. Well, thank you for joining us today, Beth. Um, Everyone that is watching this later on, we are so excited to have Beth Bishop here today from the Phoenix Effect, an incredible studio in LA. And just as a little backstory, I met Beth at a Boutique Fitness Summit event, I think in San Diego for the first time, and was just blown away by not only her ability to rock a room as a speaker, but just her fire and passion for what she does on a daily basis in her business. I was very excited to bring her in to do a presentation for us because I think we spend a lot of our time talking about the very operational, tactical things we can do in our businesses to grow and to build success, make more money, and help our clients succeed. But especially this being the week of Tuesday, I believe, was World Mental Health Day, um, a time where we can reflect a little bit more on some of the things that maybe we don't spend as much time dedicating consistency and discipline and attention to when it comes to ourselves and how to make our businesses better by being a better version of who we are and how we show up in our businesses. So, Beth is an expert in all of those things and just somebody I admire a lot. And I am excited to have you. So please kick us off with the Balanced Success Blueprint. Welcome.
Yes. Oh, well, thank you so much, Laura. I'm so excited to be here. I love Walla. I love this community. I can't wait to share some amazing success stuff with you guys. Basically, I just want to make your lives a lot easier. It's hard being an entrepreneur. The ups and downs are crazy. So I'm going to give you a couple tools today that you can implement right away.
Awesome.
I'm just super excited. So
Cool. Thank you.
we'll do the official introduction. So I'm Beth. I'm a breakthrough coach. So I coach a lot of fitness entrepreneurs on their mindsets, on business energetics, and systems and processes and stuff too. But you're going to find out today that those things aren't quite as important as some of the deeper stuff. And I'm going to share some really cool secrets that have helped me and hopefully will help you as well. I own the Phoenix Effect, and with my gym and my coaching, I am a seven-figure entrepreneur, and I started everything with a $5,000 investment. So I have bootstrapped it, I have clawed and punched my way to the top, and I've also figured out how to not claw and punch my way to things. So I want to share that with you. So today we're going to learn. Oh, I got too excited. We're going to learn how you've been secretly holding yourself back from the life and the business that you dream of. Right? So we got a lot of subconscious stuff we're going to work on. I'm going to teach you guys how to break free from stress, overwhelm, and burnout in just a few minutes a day. It's that easy. And of course, most importantly, how to have a fuck yes life and a fuck yes business at the same time. Because I think as entrepreneurs, we tend to think it's a trade-off.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be, right?
Love it.
Yeah. And I want to teach you guys how to make things a little easier for yourself, because it's hard out there. I think we were just at the BFS Summit last week, and I was so surprised to find out that 9.7% of fitness businesses make a 20% profit or more. That's it.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That was one
crazy.
of the stats that stuck out to me too, and has just kind of stayed in my head how everybody is just on the verge of major struggle.
Major struggle, right? So like 91% of our industry is on the struggle bus. So clearly we have so many awesome solutions, right? We've got the best software in the world. We got Walla, right?
Yeah.
But there's still some stuff holding people back. And so we're going to talk about that today. So I have a little request. Give me what I'm giving you. So if you're watching the replay, if you're watching it live, give me your attention. Give me your focus and give me your presence. This is not a long webinar, but if you focus on it, you're not multitasking, you're going to get a lot out of it. And if you have any kind of comments, any questions, just drop them in the chat and you shall be handsomely rewarded.
Yay.
Yeah. And I promise today, you will leave feeling reinvigorated, inspired, and very clear on some simple things that you can do right now that are going to make you feel a lot better. And I want you to feel so incredibly held and supported. So I do have a little present for you guys. This is a free workbook. So you can just click the QR, scan the QR code, download it. This is going to support all the things that we're talking about. And it's also really fun to do some of the exercises in the workbooks. Like I do them at least once a quarter. And it helps me stay on track. It helps me get my mindset right. So I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm here to support you. I understand. So I'm probably wondering, okay, well, why is this person talking to me? Just besides the fact that she knows Laura. Well, I understand you. I opened up my studio in 2013 and I had 4 business partners. And I didn't at that time really understand how to run a business. I was just a personal trainer up until that point, and I had a corporate job back in the past, but that didn't teach me how to do profit and loss. It didn't teach me how to hire people, how to really roll with all the crazy things that happen as a fitness entrepreneur. I just didn't understand business. And so when I finally became the sole owner, bought everybody out, I had over $250,000 in debt, which is pretty heavy. And as you remember, something happened in 2020. So it was pretty intense. And right around that time in 2018, I went from having like 2 or 3 competitors in a square mile radius to having 40, because the boutique industry just blew up. And that's when ClassPass was really big too, if you don't remember. And so more and more competitors were popping up. They had big venture capital behind them. I didn't have that. They had big advertising budgets, spending like $5,000 a month. I didn't have that. I was spending like maybe 250, which is crazy. And I was so tired and I was so burnt out and I was really depressed. And every day felt like an uphill battle. I don't know if this is ringing true for any of you, but I got to the point where I really didn't want to live anymore. And I was a few months away from closing my doors. I was on antidepressants. I was on anti-anxiety medicines, and it was brutal. So I had to make a shift, right? And so this was me. Something had to shift. I decided, okay, well, I'm going to learn the whole business side of things. I'm going to learn how to do a profit and loss statement. I'm going to learn KPIs. I'm going to do all the hashtag business jargon things that we need to do to be successful. And my business did start to shift. I got a business coach. I was like doing all those things. Cash flow was improving. I was paying off my debt, but I was still absolutely unhappy. And I felt like everything that I was putting into my business was just like taking from me, right? And so I was like, gosh, like I'm doing all the right things. It's almost like sometimes our clients are like, look, I'm eating right, I'm getting my stress under control, I'm sleeping a little better, I'm showing up to workouts, but I still don't think I can do it. I'm still unhappy. I'm still raw, right? And so I was like, you know what? There's got to be something else. I got a coach who introduced me to business energetics and mindset and nervous system regulation. And I was like, oh my gosh, whoa, this is the missing piece. It's not all these systems, because I can figure out these systems. This is the soft stuff that like I didn't even realize was holding me back. So I went all in. When I like unlocked some principles of mindset that I'm going to teach you guys in a couple minutes, I was like, I got to learn more and I got to help other people, because no one should feel like I had to feel. And I think the beautiful thing about our industry is that we have the power to literally transform humanity. We can elevate their consciousness. We can make them feel good in the only home that they ever get, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. What a blessing. What a ripple effect.
Yeah.
But the sad thing is like, man, when we're going through it, we can't show up. We can't have the business that we want. And so I realized that the problem was really, it was me. It was my mindset. It was how I regulated my nervous system. And my life just wasn't balanced. So that's my story.
Yeah, it's definitely, thank you for sharing that. It's tough to recognize when you feel like you're putting everything into it, right? Like you feel like you're doing all the things, checking the boxes, working so hard, but stepping back and reflecting, sometimes it's not what you think and it actually is you.
Yeah, it's tough, right? So I had to get real with myself and I had to take radical responsibility of my thoughts, my belief systems, all of that. And it was a process, but you know what? Whew, Now it's like so much fun. I wake up and I'm like, ooh, what magic can I create today? What would be fun?
Oh, I
And then
love
we
it.
just create. So now we get to shift to you. So we're going to begin your journey of balanced success, where you have your fuck yes life, where you have your fuck yes business, and there's not trade-offs. And so here's 3 elements of balanced success that are so important. So the first one is vision, right? We have to have an idea of where we want to go, or else we're not going to get there. And why it's important too. That's the alignment part. This is my purpose. This is why I want to fulfill it. And then we have to have good energetics behind it. So you have to have belief systems that say, I'm capable of making my dreams happen. I'm capable of creating breakthroughs in my clients, breakthroughs in myself, breakthroughs all around. But if we don't have these things, then it's harder. So what I want you guys to do now, I want you to pull out a sheet of paper, or if you have your Balanced Success Blueprint workbook, this is all in here. I want you to take a look at these different elements, and I want you to be real with yourself right now and score yourself from a 1 to a 10, like
She's
10 being a fuck yes, 1 being a fuck no. How do you actually feel about your business? 1 through 10. How do you feel about your personal development? 1 through 10. How do you feel about your finances? 1 through 10. Your relationships, your health and fitness, your friends, your romantic relationships. Whoa, your purpose, your impact. How do you actually feel? And it's okay if it's not out of 10 out of 10, because, well, then we wouldn't have anything to work on. And once we get to a 10 out of 10, then we're like, okay, let's try to make it an 11 out of 11. So this is a very common thing that we see in personal development, this life wheel. But I think it is a really important tool to look at all the different areas of our life, because if we are struggling on our business, probably we're going to be working long hours. We're not going to have a lot of time with friends, with our partners. Like, it's just not going to work. Right? So other areas of your life will be sacrificed. Family gets sacrificed. Your time is stretched thin. So be really real with yourself. And wherever you're at today, it's okay. We have to be grateful for the 2s out of 10s, the 1s out of 10s, the 3s out of 10s, because that gratitude is going to help us move forward and create the 10 out of 10. Right? Because your abundance that is coming to you is not coming to you despite your past, despite all the bad things that has happened. It's going to be coming to you because of it. Because you have taken all those times to learn, to grow, to make stuff happen. You know, one of the first things that I did when I was I was really feeling down on myself with my $250,000 of debt is I wrote out all the lessons I learned in the process of that debt. And then I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, I wrote out 3 full pages. And then I wrote next to it all the things that I was really grateful for of all those lessons. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't feel bad about this debt, because this debt is actually an investment. I just got myself an MBA. All right. Yes. Right? I can't hear you.
Oops, I'm muted. Sorry.
Yeah.
And cheaper than it would have been at, a top school.
Yeah, a little bit cheaper, right? So yeah. So if you're ever feeling down about something, that's another fun little bonus tool for you guys. You take the lessons and you treat whatever you think you lost as payment for the lessons. Nice little reframe. So let's do this now. So we know where we've started. We're going to go to the how it's going, but in the future. So what I want you guys to do really quickly is we're going to do just a little bit of a visualization. So it'll be nice and short and sweet. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to take a couple deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Start to ground yourself in your body. Now imagine that you are actually floating up out of your body and going to a time in the future where you have this amazing 10 out of 10 life. You're going to drop into your body then, and you're going to open your eyes and you're going to see what is around you. What do you look like? How do you feel? How does it feel to have that 10 out of 10 business? What does it look like? How do your employees show up? How do they talk to each other? How do they talk to you? How do you talk to your clients? How does it feel to really have that business of your dreams? That business that isn't sucking the life out of you, but just feels like, yes, I'm in my purpose. Yes, I can do this. Yes, this is amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. How does it feel to have amazing relationships in your life with your family, your friends, romantic relationships, anything that makes you just feel so whole? It's a 10 out of 10. And I want you to really feel into that. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Who lights you up? Who is your cheerleader? Who do you get to cheerlead? How do you feel in your body? You're so strong and so powerful and unstoppable. What does that feel like? To be so fully in alignment in your body, in your mind, in your spirit, and you're learning and you're growing and you're doing new things and you're expanding your horizons. How does that feel? I want you to just visualize whatever else wants to come up for you and make it even better. You might even brighten the colors in your visualization, whatever makes it more tantalizing that you don't even want to leave it. That is your 10 out of 10. And that is where we are going. And that is what we are building. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Good. Now we're going to come back into this room. So now you have a blueprint of where you want to go and what you want to create. And I know it's like visualization, really? This seems so cheesy, but I will go a little bit later and I will tell you why visualization is so important and how it actually creates a plan for your subconscious to work off of. And so often we are so preoccupied with all the things that we don't want or all the fires that we have to put out that we don't go back to this 10 out of 10 visualization. And so then what we end up doing is we react to the fires. Does this sound familiar? Yep, we react to the fires and that just the same keeps happening, right? And then, of course, we keep doing the same things over and over again. And then we wonder why we're not getting different results, right? So this can go for your clients too. You know, if they don't have a visual picture of what success looks like, they're probably not going to get there either. And they're going to keep repeating those same spirals. So this stuff not only is going to work for your business, but you can take whatever I'm teaching today and you can also apply this to your clients. So we do a lot of mindset stuff. We have masterminds, we have workshops, we have lots of things like that at the gym, and it just makes things more fun and we get higher retention and better results. So this is the hierarchy of balanced success. So it all starts with your mindset and a regulated nervous system. And then from there, when we got the beliefs that are going to support everything, we are calm, cool, and collected, and we're not freaking out. We're not anxious. We're not in a spiral. Then we have our life and spiritual vision. Now, I don't mean like spiritual in a religious sense, but I mean more in a purpose sense, right? So say your goal is to get people off the planet and send them to Mars and also reduce the humanity's need for fossil fuels. Your name would be Elon Musk, and you would actually have to be a billionaire to make that vision happen. Like him or hate him, when your vision is that big, it gives your spirit and the universe kind of like a reason to have money flow through to you, right? And I really believe that. Because if we're thinking really small and we're thinking like, oh, I just need like the next 2 clients, and then they show up and that's all you get. Right? But we're here to make big impact. We're here to live our fuck yes lives. We're here to live a 10 out of 10. So we have to have big dreams and we have to have a reason for them to come through. So connect deeply to that purpose, to that 10 out of 10, because you are worth it. Then, of course, the next most important things are your expertise. You guys are all masters in your different areas that you do. And then we have the strategy, and then we have the systems, and then we have the software, and then we have the Walla, and we have everything else. But this is all the stuff that you need first. We good with that?
Yep.
Cool. So the first lesson in balanced success is that you are the architect of your life. And your belief systems are the blueprints. So if your belief systems say like, okay, I want this amazing mansion with this and this, but your blueprints are saying, oh, this is a trailer park. Say that's you want to create the mansion, but your belief system says trailer park. You're going to keep creating that trailer park over and over and over and over and over again. You just can't do it. It's like planting a seed that's a watermelon seed and going, I want a tomato. Give me that tomato. And then you're like, why is there a watermelon? Because you can't shift it unless you shift these. And so our beliefs can show up like this. I'm not good at blank. I don't have enough time. I'm stretched too thin. I don't know how. This is impossible for me. I can't get this. One of mine was like, I don't have venture capital. I can't compete with these people. I'm too stretched thin. I'm never going to be able to pay off my debt. I'm never going to be able to blah, 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 blah. It's impossible, right? So all of these things create your inner conflict, what we want to achieve, and our belief systems. And in between that is that fear, that burnout, that negative feelings. And it doesn't have to be that way. But just know that everything that you believe is creating your life right now. You've probably heard this stuff before, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper and you'll see how to apply this. So think about it like this. Our conscious mind is the goal setter. So when we are like, we're awake, we're doing our thing, we're like, I want to get 100 new members by the end of the year. Awesome. Great. Cool. We can set those smarter goals. We've all heard about that. But then our unconscious mind is going to be working on things 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by sending us ideas. If you've ever gone to bed and woken up and, oh, I totally know how to fix this thing, it's just subconscious working on things for you, right? And so when we can get in alignment with our beliefs and really have clarity of exactly what we want, not what we don't want, then it actually makes things a lot easier. You start to see opportunities where you never saw them before. When I was spending so much time in like victim mode and like, why is this happening to me? And why are everybody else on venture capital in it? Right? I wasn't noticing all the really cool opportunities in front of me. I wasn't noticing that I had members who were in charge of the health and fitness programs at their companies and they had wellness fairs. I wasn't noticing that I could have a bring a friend week or bring a coworker week. I wasn't having fun. I wasn't getting creative. Right? Because all I could think about was what I didn't want and how I didn't want to be in that situation. And so, my friends, here's the cold hard truth, is that everything that you believe is a decision. These beliefs didn't create themselves. Your beliefs are decisions because of your human operating system. These are the 5 primary drivers. So everything that you believe will trigger a thought. A thought will trigger a feeling. And feelings will trigger more thoughts, right? So if you're thinking like, man, I am so burnt out, I don't know how I'm going to get this done. Then you sit down at your desk and you're like, what's the point? Then you start feeling crappy, like I'm procrastinating. I don't want to procrastinate, but I'm procrastinating again. Welcome to my world. I have ADHD, right? And it doesn't feel good. And so then like over time, then we just go back and forth and then we start to feel really crappy. And then the actions that we take are going to be lackluster. And those actions will impact your results. Bummer. And the results will go ahead and reinforce negative beliefs. Whoa. Think about some clients that you've had that have been like, yeah, let's do this right off the bat. I got so much energy. I want to hit my goals, right? And then when that willpower runs out, those old belief systems start taking over. Like, oh, wait, I don't actually have time. So all of a sudden, that 7 o'clock class that you always went to doesn't become important anymore. And you're stuck at work and blah, 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 right? Because your core belief is that this actually isn't going to work. Yeah. So then, oh, well, I have to stay at work. My boss will get so mad at me and I'll, right? And so then, of course, it's just going to go and reinforce it. So we are all dealing with this. So your beliefs can help you or they can hinder you.
What I
Pretty
love
crazy.
about this, Beth, is like it's so for us, right? Like everything we're going through, but all of this is the same thing our clients are going through. And when we can start to internalize what's happening and understand how powerful our beliefs are, then we can communicate that to our clients and have such a greater impact with them.
100%. Like we do a belief transformation challenge at the gym. And we go through this. We talk about these things. We're like, look, this is going to be what stops you. There's going to be another thing that stops you too, right? We're going to talk about nervous system stuff because they have to work together. And I'll explain that a little bit more. But, sometimes, I'll be coaching people and they'll be like, but Beth, you don't understand. Like, here's my story, blah, 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 blah. And this story is so true. And I'm like, of course it feels true. This has been on repeat for years and for years. And every time you go through this cycle, it's collecting more and more evidence about the truth. And it makes it feel like this is how things are and this is how they've always been. And it's not true. And the crazy thing is that you probably don't remember creating your beliefs, right? Because most of our beliefs are formed between ages 0 and 7 when your brain is forming neurosynaptic connections. You're trying to, like, your little human brain is trying to make sense of this world and what's happening and create patterns to make your brain work more efficiently. Right. So that's why we create these meanings around things. And it doesn't have to be that way, but just know that, like, if you heard something like this growing up, like money doesn't grow on trees, you probably internalized a belief that money is difficult to make. Oof. Like, I remember being 8 years old and asking my dad, like, why aren't you a millionaire? All it takes is one good idea. And he laughed at me and he was like, one good idea. You think it's that easy? And so I internalized it. I mean, of course, it's a little bit more, a little bit more complicated than just one good idea. But, and he was only doing the best that he could. But we have sucked in a lot of these beliefs. So a lot of cultural archetypes, things that we've heard from our caregivers, our teachers, our friends, depending on where we've grown up and what we heard. We got a lot of this stuff sitting in the background, and it's been playing on repeat over and over. And the brain looks to the past to bring meaning to the present, which is really interesting. So everything that you're experiencing now is through the filter of the past. So I have this, like, scary dog, right? Because if you were like 1 year old and a dog bit you, you could meet 1,000 other nice dogs in your life and still be scared of dogs and be like, oof, no, I don't know. I'm really uneasy, right? Because that one negative, very emotionally charged experience got stored in your brain. And so it's affecting, right, how you feel. And look, we've all just been through, like, so much trauma with this pandemic. We've been beaten down. And just know that some of that stuff, some of the beliefs that we formed that are negative and positive, we are, like, carrying with us, right? And once again, our beliefs are reinforced over and over and over. So it's like we're kind of living through Groundhog Day and we don't even realize it. And so in reality, we are having the 7-year-old version of ourselves dictate our life decisions. And then, of course, if I asked you all, would you let a 7-year-old make important life decisions for you? No. Would you let a 7-year-old tell you what you can or can't do or what you're capable of? No. I would say no too, but here we are. And this is the reality. And so there's so much of this stuff that is keeping us from getting to where we want to get. So how do you actually know what those are? Let's go back to the visualization. Remember what that felt like. Remember how amazing that was. I'm going to have you guys take 1 minute to think about your 10 out of 10 life and write down all the reasons why it can't come true. This is the easiest way to do it. So no, really, let's do it right now. Why can't I have it? Man, I remember the first time I did this exercise, I was like, whoa, blown away. Just stream of consciousness. There's no wrong answers. It's just stories. It's just old blueprints. Just old blueprints. And so this is actually a really cool thing. Because once we realize that we are architects, that means we can change our blueprints. That means that just because these things feel real and they've been painful and they've come up over and over again, doesn't actually mean that it has to be that way forever. So every reason why it can't come true. Side note, we do this with our members when we do a belief system challenge. Like, why can't you have the results that you want? Why can't you have the body you want? Write it down. We talk about it. And people are shocked. It's not that your boss doesn't let you work out. It's that you don't think it's going to work for you, because you've had so many instances in the past that they've said it doesn't work. It can't happen for me. So, and it's pretty crazy. Sometimes you can write this, and like, I remember the first time I did it, I wrote for like a solid, like 10 to 15 minutes. And this is a really great exercise for if you're ever feeling stuck about anything and wondering why it is that you can't have it. You just literally ask your subconscious, why can't I have it? You write it down, and then bam. And if you got that workbook downloaded, I actually included a bonus exercise in there that will help you shift your beliefs and reframe them. So,
Love it.
Laura, you want to share one that you got?
Oh God. I'm not smart enough.
Smart enough.
I don't have like the expertise to accomplish what I want to accomplish.
Whoa. So we're going back here. What kind of, when you think that, what are some other thoughts that are attached to that?
I'm surrounded by people that have a lot more experience than I do, and who went to really amazing business schools, or, things that I haven't experienced. So,
yeah. And how does that make you feel?
Like I'm not good enough, or I have a lack of confidence.
Does that motivate you to take action?
Yeah.
It's tough, right? And so I think comparison is something that comes up a lot, right? It's like, I found myself at the BFS conference just going like, wow, to the woman who like created Solid Core. I was like, wow, she was like, she really did it. That was amazing. And then I like started to go down those like old blueprint ways and feeling bad about myself. And I was like, you know what? No, like, I'm going to use her as a reason why I can, right? If she can do it, I can do it. It's pretty powerful, but we can see that this stuff is heavy. And thank you for sharing and being vulnerable, because I know this is hard. Look, it's tough. It's tough when we really look under the hood and we're like, oh, what is actually holding me back? So there's another thing that's holding us back. And that's our state of being. So how we feel is going to be affecting how we edit our blueprint, right? Because if we're like, oh man, like I know that like I don't feel good and I don't want to feel this way, but I'm still feeling crappy, it's really, really tough to get out of that, right? If you've ever been anxious and someone's like, hey, why don't you just like calm down or feel better? And you're like, hey, why don't you go yourself? Because it doesn't work like that, because there are two states of being. Yes, there's like a million different emotions, but bear with me. There is a powerful state. So that can be anywhere from like, I'm content and I'm chilling, to like absolute joy and elation. And there's a primal state. So that's when you go anywhere from bored all the way to like rage and stressed and bored and overwhelmed and all the things, anger, jealous, all those like lower vibrational feelings. That's a primal state. And each of these correspond to a different state of your nervous system, which is really cool. So you are either regulated in your parasympathetic nervous system. So when we are regulated, we can think clearly. We can do the hard things. We can move forward, right? We can get creative. We can get excited about life again. But when we are in a primal state, we are in our sympathetic. That's our fight or flight systems, or our dorsal vagal, which is our freeze. That's our shutdown. That's a nasty place to be. And I spent a lot of time there, let me tell you. And we don't really feel like we can do much. And so when we are in a primal state, we're maybe working at like 10% of our total capacity. It doesn't work, right? We are not our best selves. And here's the crazy thing. If we want to move forward, we need a couple things. So number one, we need to make sure that we are not dysregulated and that we're in a powerful state as much as possible. right? Because that's where we're going to be having the energy to make the shifts. And then also, if we are in a primal state, we're using it as a like, oh, not like, oh, Laura, you're so bad that you procrastinated and you didn't get everything done, but like, oh, there's a lesson here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the lesson. And how can I move forward with that? So I'll put this in perspective. 1 hour of dysregulation, say it's like an hour lost, because like we've all been there. I've been procrastinating. I love to like, there's a reason why I speak 5 languages, and it's because I'm a master procrastinator and I love to that's my jam. I'm like, if I'm going to procrastinate, I'm going to trick myself and think that like I'm doing something good for myself by like learning Swedish. Why? Do I need to know Swedish? No, but it's like, it's part of subconscious resistance that is like saying you're not good enough. You can't have what you want. So I'm going to distract myself. So 1 hour of dysregulation a day, 365 hours a year. And that translates into 15 full 24-hour days. You divide that into some work days. Holy cow. That's more than 30 work days in a year, but just with 1 hour. That's crazy. So imagine what you could do with an extra month, 2 months, 6 months, all of that. It's crazy. And what we don't realize about nervous system dysregulation is that stress and burnout and overwhelm, they add up. So you can have your stress baseline is called your allostatic load. And when something terrible happens, and you don't fully recover from it, and another thing terrible happens, you don't recover, boom, boom, boom. It's like, oh, my employee quit. Oh man, I just had a fight with my partner. Oh man, now I just got like a couple cancellations. Oh no. Oh, I just got a fine from the city because I didn't realize my sprinkler system, something was wrong. It adds up. And so your altered stress baseline gets higher over time. And then we think that that's normal. And so then we start operating at this like a level of chronic stress and overwhelm, and we use it to motivate ourselves because we think it's the right thing. And your nervous system thinks like, oh, I have to be at this agitated high stress rate to keep this person alive because this is the strategy that's been working, which is pretty crazy. So we get addicted to stress, overwhelm, and burnout and anxiety. We get addicted because when you start to like decrease it, it feels weird. It feels like you're going through a withdrawal because you're actually having a physical chemical withdrawal in your brain.
Yeah,
Whoa.
this is why we can't relax. Like entrepreneurs, when you go on vacation, how long
Yes.
does it take you to chill the heck out? Like it's hard.
Yeah. It's like, and then you feel like you got to be doing something, right?
Yep.
It's like, oh man, this is like rest and relaxation. So like, that's why it's so important to take those breaks and actually do it because it needs to lower your allostatic load. So next time you're feeling bad about taking a break, just know you are avoiding all of these symptoms of potential dysregulation. So read this list: edginess, inability to relax, hypervigilance, anxiety, depression, chronic stress, tiredness, fatigue, insomnia. You got heartburn, digestive issues, indigestion, your emotions are all over the place, you get sick a lot, you have brain fog, you're probably dysregulated, right? And your clients are too, right? So obviously like working out is going to help with dysregulation, but there's also something that you can do to shift your state in 3 or 5 minutes a day, which is really cool. So this is another tool I wanted to teach you guys, so you have it, is somatic balancing exercises. So if you set a timer and you do each of these exercises for 3 to 5 minutes, you're actually going to be able to shift from a primal state into a powerful state. And the most important thing that you need to do when you realize that you're dysregulated is stop, drop, and roll, because you are on fire, and not in a good way. Like you are taking your power away from yourself. So this is what we'll do. Sacred rage is a really good one. If you are feeling really frustrated and angry and whatever, and you don't want to pop off at an employee or your friends or your partners or anything, do this first. Grab a pillow, grab a slam ball, bring it up overhead and scream, ah! And do that for 3 to 5 minutes. Oh my God. Oh, it is great. My dog always looks really concerned when I do that. She's like, what's happening, Mom? Are you okay? You know, it's just like, maybe let your neighbors know if you're going to do it, but it is very cathartic. And it's anger and frustration are those like things that really needed to be moved out of the body. I do a lot of somatic work with my clients because if we're not taking care of the body part and we're just in our brains all the time, it doesn't work, right? Mm. I press breathing is something that I use. You take your palms and you put it on your eyes and you take long, slow, deep breaths. And I like to lay down when I do it. That's when I like feel like things are too much and overwhelmed. It's really powerful. Just, and sometimes I'll breathe and I'll just speak my fear out like, I'm scared I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm scared I'm not going to make payroll. I'm afraid. I'm scared. Oh my God. And I just allow myself to speak my feelings, witness them, and press on my eyes. The ocular nerve connects to the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve is what turns on your parasympathetic nervous system. So it triggers the rest and digest system. Right. So there's a very scientific component to that of how that works. Right. And also just feels good to get that out. Body tapping is another one. If I'm just kind of like in my brain and I'm dissociating and I'm just like, oh, I don't feel good. This is a good one. And shaking is really good. You can put those two together. And we actually, side note, use this in our warm-ups at the gym to get people into their bodies, because people are like this all day long. Right. So it actually helps them to regulate and have a better workout.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I know we're running out of time, so I'm just going to put this all together.
Love it.
So you get to claim your 10 out of 10 life, guys. No one else is going to do it for you. And to have that 10 out of 10 life, we have to have balance. And to have that balance, you got to have a vision. You got to know what you want. You got to have alignment. You got to know why you want it. And you have to have good energetics. So we have to have a belief system that supports that. And we have to have a regulated nervous system that's going to allow us to build those systems, to do those things. So you get to declare greatness today. You don't get to tolerate anything that is a fuck no. You get to learn how to regulate all those BS stories that say that you can't, because you absolutely can. Because we've seen so many amazing people overcome incredible things, and you can too. And trust me, like I work with hundreds of people, and this is what we do. We get breakthroughs. You can do it too, because the most people in the world are using this ordinary system. We're starting with stupid decisions like I can't do it, I'm not good enough, I don't have money, blah blah blah. And so then the only clarity that we have is what we don't want, and we don't have energy of gratitude. We have energy of fuck this. And then we ask stupid questions like, why is this happening to me, and why can't I get what I want? And then we're afraid, and then we react. And so you can see as you get to the top of the pyramid, things feel heavy and it's really hard. And it doesn't have to be hard, right? But the reason why it's hard is because we're starting from dysregulation, and we're starting from decisions that don't feel good. But you can actually learn how to reshape how you feel. You can learn how to install empowering decisions, use the workbook, book a breakthrough call with me. I got you. Then we can have gratitude for where we're at, that 2 out of 10. Because we have clarity, right, of where we're going, the lessons that we've learned. We got our MBA of mistakes, right? MBA of lessons. It's our investment. It's not our debt. Then we can ask powerful questions. Who can help me, right? Like, oh man, I'm loving helping so many entrepreneurs. And so I think like, gosh, how can I get in front of more people? And so then I see opportunities, and I talk to Laura, and I'm like, Laura, I love Walla. Let's do something to help out your peeps. Right. And you'll see other ways that you can empower yourself and empower your clients. And then you'll have confidence, and you'll know that like, if you get 1% better every day, you're going to get there. Right. And you'll have that faith. And it's like working a muscle every day. So if you got like 40 years of just like, it's going to take a little bit of time, right? We can't just do that one push up and be like, wow, my chest is amazing. We got to work on this stuff. So success is going to start with you. And if you're ready to step into your power, let's sit down. I've got 60 minutes for you, free of charge. Let's figure out where you're having blocks, and I will help you through it, because I don't want anybody to suffer like I did. And it doesn't have to be that hard. So
amazing. Oh, well, thank you. That was so powerful. And I love that there are tactical, actual things that you can do today to take yourself out of even just that moment of dysregulation, or that moment of um, lack of belief. And whether it's, shaking for a minute, or taking a deep breath and thinking about, is that actually true? Or is that just something that's been programmed in me since I was 7? And starting the process of what is actually true, or what can I make true, because I have the power to shift that. I'm so grateful for this. And for those of you on with us today, I will be sharing the workbook as a follow-up afterwards, that Beth mentioned earlier. And for those of you that are watching this on recording, please reach out to me, reach out to Beth with any questions about how you can bring this into your business too, because there's so much potential when you work on it personally and then let that ripple effect
Oh,
enter your
like
community.
side note with that, like these types of programs that we've done, like we do an extra 30 to 40K of revenue
Mm,
a month, right? Just working on this
amazing.
part, right? Not just the body. So like
Yep.
you get to be the embodiment of this and send it to your community, and then your impact just like,
Yes.
yeah, we can talk about
Love
that.
it.
It's so fun.
Love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. For those of you who are curious what we're going to be doing next month in our Walla webinar series, we're going to be talking about essentially what reports in Walla are going to be helpful moving into the new year. So as you set some of these big vision goals and start to think about what's important, how do you find the information that you need to back that up and to really visualize and take it to the next level? And one of the things I'm super passionate about in our software is making it not just easy to find, but actually enjoyable to look at our reporting so you don't dread it every month. There's such a powerful aspect to like seeing a visual of something and seeing it move in the right direction rather than just looking at a spreadsheet. So anyway, I am very excited. We're also going to be starting a consistent couple times a month reporting um, webinar series, for lack of a better term. But I'm just so excited that more people are asking questions and excited to tap into goals coming into Q4 and next year. So thank you for being here, Beth. Appreciate you. And we will have the workbooks out to you guys today. Talk to you soon. Thanks.